It's going to be tough for him.
He's going to have to dig pretty deep.
Yeah. So that's one side of the bracket. Just to give you a quick rundown before we start here on the other side, it'll be Andrew Wilson, who we saw in the 9th round, playing against Edwin Beckwith. That's going to be Delver versus Blue-Black. And then the final match will be James Bishop playing Wolf Run versus Daniel Greenleaf playing Blue-Black. We saw him earlier as well. So that's the other side. But for now, we're focused on Stephen Mann and Tyler Schiner. Mann on your right, Schiner on your left. So who do you think's favored in this match?
I'm going to give it to Mono Green.
Yeah.
Their guys are just bigger, and they can play big guys pretty fast. They also, like, their trades are really good. They're playing like Strangleroot guys, things like that. It's, like cards like Garrick, Relentless, also just really, really good here.
Definitely. I'm actually going to go with Tyler, at least for Game 1, because Game 1, Tyler's going to have all these artifacts that are so difficult for Steven to deal with, like Glint Hawk and, of course, the Idol.
I guess the Stamp is actually pretty good, too. And if he does draw a Tempered Steel, Etch Champion's awesome. Actually, Tyler's got to be ahead in Game 1.
Etch Champion, Tempered Steel. I mean, if he draws those two alone, it's going to be really tough for Steven to win. He has one Acidic Slime. He can find it with Green Sun, but that's it. After board, though, it gets a little interesting because Stephen Mann has Naturalizes, he has another Slime, he has 2 Viridian Corruptor, so maybe edge in the match goes to Stephen, but Game 1 definitely Tyler, I think. Tyler doesn't get too much. Shrine of Loyal Legions will be alright. Indomitable Archangel, only 1 copy of. So
that's a really good card here, though, if he does draw the 1 copy.
Yeah. Game winning.
It's going to be, locks it up almost.
Yeah, Indomitable Archangel, 4 for a 4/4 Shroud, flying. That's pretty good. Is it Shroud or Hexproof?
I believe it's Shroud.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. Doesn't matter in this matchup.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it doesn't.
It does not. But
yeah, no swords
Shroud,
anywhere in the 75 for Tyler.
It is Shroud.
Yep, Shroud.
That actually seems really good.
Yeah, it's been used as a sideboard card for a while, but it never really caught on. Probably because Mono Red just isn't that popular also.
But I mean, it seems very reasonable in a lot of matchups, actually.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Like, it's a... it's kind of like a Geist of Saint Traft that beats a lot of the cards who play against Geist of Saint Traft.
Yeah, it's really powerful. The problem is getting and keeping Metalcraft.
It's tough to do.
Especially against
Maybe there's a Pure Steel Paladin deck somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere that can be good.
Yet
somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to experiment with those types of things.
Especially when the rares are cheap.
Yeah, definitely. Is Pure Steel Paladin cheap right now?
I have to imagine.
I imagine it's still like $4, maybe more. Oh, only $2.
Well, not
Is that
bad.
real?
Yeah, going by Star City pricing, you can get them for $2. Played ones for $1.50. There you go, building on a budget. 2 weeks from now, write it down.
Writing it down.
Pure Steel Paladin.
Pure Steel Paladin. That may actually come before the Turbo Fog Modern deck. I have not done a standard deck. I just did Modern deck, rather.
Alrighty, so it looks like Stephen Mann won the die roll, led with Forest Bird of Paradise. Tyler's countering with Mox Opal, Glint Hawk, Plains. We play Mox Opal. So I believe the players got to review each other's deck lists before the match.
The Glint Hawk's pretty awesome here, to be honest.
Yeah. Mono green deck?
Yeah.
Those generally don't do too well against flyers.
Yeah. On turn 1.
Yeah, not bad. Well, we have seen Steven Chumpblock with a lot of Birds of Paradise.
He has. It's worked out for him.
Yeah. Sword of War and Peace will be really good for Steven, though, if he can draw it.
That's true. Especially on that bird.
Right.
It's one of the few matches where that actually matters.
So, Vault Scourge. Another flyer, another very hard card for Steven to deal with, but only with 1 mana source right now.
Yeah, no more land.
I know he has another Mox Opal in his hand, and there's an Etch Champion, Origin Spellbomb.
Oh, so next turn he will be able to activate the Moxel at least with the Origin Spellbomb.
Right.
What he'd really like next turn is to be able to successfully use or successfully cast an Etch Champion, but it's unlikely he's going to be able to do that with one draw step.
So Metamorph. Copied Vault Scourge, I have to imagine.
Perhaps it copied the Glenhawk. That seems better. Right?
Would he have to bounce an artifact, though?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it would have to bounce itself. Oh, no, it wouldn't be an artifact.
Yeah.
Probably copying Vault Scourge. Stephen Mann definitely willing to trade 4 mana for 1 at this stage. Just needs to stave off the flyers till he can get up to his big guys.
Seems to make sense.
Just Glinthawk. Doesn't want to trade off quite yet. Knows he has Tempered Steels in his deck to make his Vault Scourge way better.
And I like not trading there.
Oh, me too. It's definitely better. The only danger is if that Vault Scourge picks up a sword. So Glinthawk Idol Origin Spellbomb added to the board for Tyler.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Tempered Steel's a really powerful deck.
Celebration going on in the room. Yeah, especially when you're playing against mono green, it's tough to deal with this onslaught of flyers.
Right. Well, let's see if he has Corrosive Gales. No, one Corrosive Gale, but even now that Corrosive Gale wouldn't hit the Glinthawk Idol.
It's a sorcery.
Yeah, it's a sorcery, exactly. And Tyler had to be really happy to see that Stephen Mann wasn't playing red for Ancient Grudge. So Stephen Mann pays 4 for Garruk Relentless, which
That's
immediately,
pretty good.
Yeah, shoots down Glinthawk Idol. It will die though on Tyler's turn if he wants it to. And I have to imagine he does.
He actually has a few different lines here. I think it might be correct to just cast Etch Champion and just attack the Garruk with the Glinthawk Idol. And
yeah, the wolves really aren't that relevant against Tempered Steel.
yeah, if he wants to chump block a turn to pick up a wolf, that's awesome for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So just like give him the chance to make that error. That's a Tempered Steel.
Okay.
I'll take it.
I was wondering what that textless card was in his hand.
Yeah.
So now, this attack went from not so good to very good.
Yes.
And he attacked Gareth with both creatures, I think.
Huh.
I'm not sure I like that.
I don't like that.
I think at this point you would maybe just want to attack Stephen Mann. The only downside is that Stephen can sack his Garruk by sacking one of his creatures to get an acidic slime, kill Tempered Steel.
That's true.
That's the downside.
And that's pretty reasonable thing to be afraid of.
Yeah, with Tyler only left with a Mox Opal and an Etch Champion, he does really need that Tempered Steel to stay alive.
The Etch Champion, though, very strong here, especially with that Origin Spellbomb and Mox Opal sitting in play.
Definitely.
And with the Tempered Steel, it's going to be really difficult for Steven to deal with that unless he can quickly find an acidic slime for that Tempered Steel. And even then, he's taking beats in the air.
Right. Yeah, right now at this point in the game, I really like Tyler's chances, even if Steven can, say, cast Acidic Slime this turn.
Ooh, okay. I mean, that's a pretty big game.
That's good. At this
and
point
he gets
in the
it on
game,
a lifelink guy, too.
Yeah, that's true. At this point in the game, Steven has 1 card in hand, Tyler has 2. Oh, no, Steven has 2 cards. So that will deal Tyler 5 damage, bring him to 16, gain Stephen Mann 5 life, bring him to 21.
Yep.
So the life totals reverse themselves.
I don't know, I still think Tyler's got it.
Yeah, I think this still favors him, especially with that Gavney Township right there, too.
Yeah, it's just going to make his guys...
Yeah, with Etch Champion, that's going to be quickly get out of hand.
He's got an Ink Moth in his hand, too.
Oh, wow.
So he's just got all the angles.
Yeah. Wow, maybe Tempered Steel is the deck to play. After watching this deck play out.
This deck's not bad right now.
No.
No cards from the new set, but It's pretty bad against the ramp decks, though.
It is. Which, as we
and-
saw, have sort of fallen out of favor.
They have sort of fallen out of favor. I mean, especially, they even have Ancient Grudge post sideboard. It was already bad. Then
Yeah.
they get Ancient Grudge.
Yeah, that's true.
That's brutal. Tyler attacking Steven for 3. And he's going to put himself back up to 19. Steven down to 18 now.
Yep. That Glinthawk idol,
Glinthawk idol is
ready
going to
to
prevent
block.
Steven from attacking.
right.
Puts the brakes on hard.
Important to note, it is not a white creature. It doesn't seem like Steven's draw has been very good this game, does it?
Does not.
No Green Sun Zeniths.
Although, you know, his draw hasn't been that bad. He had the bird, he had the Garruk, he had the Metamorph, he had the sword, which is one of his better cards here. He really had, and the Garruk's one of his better cards too. He had 2 of his much better cards in the matchup.
Right. His first non-bird play was like turn 3 Metamorph copying Vault Scourge. But I think that was just because this deck has a natural weakness to Tempered Steel. At least game 1.
That's a pretty cool play. He cast a Phyrexian Metamorph, copied a Sword of War and Peace,
Wow.
and then equipped the Sword of War and Peace, and now he's swinging with a massive Vault Scourge.
Yeah,
it's a Baneslayer Angel.
That thing is huge. And it's going to gain him at least 1 life. It looks like 2 life and deal Tyler 1 damage.
Well, 4 life, right? Double Sword of War and Peace?
Right. But I'm saying 1 life for the card.
Yeah.
Per war.
So, yeah, this is this may be the turn of events that Steven needs. Though, you know, Tyler does have the tools he needs in hand. You know, it's going to take, you know, it may seem odd. It may not seem like he has that much time, but he does have a good amount of time.
Right, I mean, as soon as he gets 1 more mana, he'll be able to activate the Glinthawk idol, activate Gavany Township, and at least trade with that Vault Scourge.
Going to draw a card and make a mirror token.
Yep.
So he's got to grab a 3/3. Does he have the mirror token?
Oh, he will.
Yeah. So they have special mirror tokens.
So it looks like they're having a little dispute about life totals right now. But they've corrected it. So I think we're in Tyler's upkeep right now. Yeah, and they're still having a discussion about the life totals.
They gain 9 in total. So, you know.
Seems to me like that should be fairly easy math, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It could be from a previous combat, something like that.
Yeah, you never know. I believe he's not at 25 though. Should gain 9. I believe he was at 18. He
Yeah.
should be at
We'll find out the correct life total
27.
for you.
27.
Has Tyler drawn a card for his turn? Okay, he has. Couldn't quite make out what Tyler had drawn. Looks like, oh, Glinthawk. And an idol.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that will allow him to trade an idol with a Vault Scourge if he chooses. Hawk returning Mox Opal. Playing Mox Opal. So now he has the 2 white sources he needs, and he can keep attacking.
Yeah, really well played. I think Tyler has been the right kind of greedy. We've seen We've seen people be too conservative today. We've seen people be the wrong kind of greedy. But we haven't really seen...
people taking the necessary risks to win, almost?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tyler's played this game really well. So what Steven really needs right now is a Green Sun Zenith or an Acidic Slime. 4 Green Sun, 1 Slime. He would love to blow up that Tempered Steel.
Yeah, the Tempered Steel is really the card that matters right now.
Yeah, without that, Tyler's entire house of cards just comes crashing down, and he's left with a pile of 1/1s and 2/2s. One option Tyler had available to him also is to just chump block with the Inkmoth Nexus. Attack for 4 with the Glinthawk Idol.
Yeah, I think that's completely reasonable.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
He could almost chump block his way to victory here.
I think he can. He's got a lot of power on the table.
That's true. And the more turns you give Steven, the closer he gets to Acidic Slime.
And you know, if you just chump block it with the Inkmoth, then you can block it with anything.
Right, exactly. You can block it with anything, or you can just let it through. It's only going to gain 2 life a turn.
Yeah.
Plus any cards in his hand, of course. But if he's not playing his cards, he's not advancing his board state. But it looks like Tyler is, or at least will be, content to double block. If he had intended on blocking with Nexus, he would have attacked with that other Glinthawk Idol.
And he's going to double block with the Glinthawk Idols. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm not sure which is better, either chump blocking with Nexus or just attacking, or chump blocking with the Idols, or rather gang blocking.
And now,
trying to figure out how much life was gained, of course.
5.
Yep, exactly 5.
Steven.
Now Steven left with only 2 Swords of War and Peace and a Bird of Paradise. And his only play is to double Eclipse. Wow.
Does not bode well for Steven here.
No. And now, of course, the Gavany Township is active, too.
Yeah. And Gavany Township can start bringing a world of hurt.
Steven Mann actually needs to kill like 4 of Tyler's permanents with Acidic Slime.
Yes. Does not seem likely.
No. Let's see what Steven Mann can do to pull himself back into this game.
I don't think there's much he can do. You know, if he gets an early Daybreak Ranger, that's really good here.
Yeah. The one of Daybreak Ranger. Hard to draw, but easy to Green Sun. So Tyler decides on play Memnite, activate Glinthawk Idol, send with all those guys, leaving Glinthawk back because of the pro-white guy and leaving Nexus back to block. So
seems completely reasonable.
Yeah. I think that's a good attack because now he gets to use his Gavany, put a counter on all those. And yeah, he's going to be content to take that 4-point hit from that Bird of Paradise because the most Steven will be able to gain is 4. Unless you draw something crazy like a Garruk Primal Hunter. So it looks like Steven Mann is taking 4, 9, 14, 18.
Yeah. It's 4, 9, 13. Yep, 18.
Looks like that should...
2.
Yep, the Vault Scourge gets blocked.
Tyler's going to gain 4.
So Tyler Schiner not at 2, actually at 6, because he did block. Interesting that he didn't actually send with that Glint Hawk.
Yeah, if he's just gonna let the Vault Scourge get binned anyway, you might as well.
Right.
It's just a free
3 damage. It's not like that Glint Hawk can block. At first I thought that attack must have meant the creatures would be big enough to kill that Bird of Paradise in combat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I was wrong. Because the Vault Scourge was
just
still
4/4.
just a 3/3, yeah. Before the Gavany Township probably was 3/3.
Right.
Yeah. So it was not big enough anyway.
So Steven Mann 6 life, and Tyler Schiner gained 4 last turn. Steven now with 3 cards in his hand, trying to figure out some way to stop this robot army.
Does not seem likely. You know, earlier we talked about the dinosaurs beating the robots.
Yep.
But maybe tonight in Tampa, the robots get their revenge.
It sure looks like it from game 1. After board, though, Tyler's going to have a tough problem with these Naturalizes, Corruptors, Acidic Slimes, Precursor Golem even.
Yeah, Steven trying to figure out if he's not dead. I think he is, though.
Well, he did go up to 12, and Tyler did go down to 13. So two blockers. Neither one of those can block that Etch Champion, though, which we'll just keep trucking in. At this point, do you just play the Mox Opal to stop taking damage from the Sword of War and Peace?
Yeah.
I think so, too. Obviously, activate that Township one last time.
I mean, I don't think there was an earlier point where it would have been.
Oh, no. I don't think so either. I think this is the first turn that he possibly could have.
Yeah. I don't think he's waited too long on that. And even if he chooses to not do it this turn, there are definitely arguments to be made for that.
True.
So I don't think it's...
I think it's closer to playing the Mox Opal, but yeah, I can definitely see the argument for not.
Yeah, I would play it this turn.
Right.
I would not have played it before this turn.
So Tyler doing almost affinity-like math here.
Yeah. I think he's figured it out.
So adds a mana, Mox Opal.
Mox Opal.
Activate Glint Hawk Idol.
Yeah.
Activate Gavany Township.
Yeah.
Now all these creatures will crash in. And is that lethal? I think that's actually lethal right on board.
There's no flyers. Yeah, I guess the flying damage, it's just too much damage.
Yep. Can't block the Etch Champion, can't block the Idol, can't block the Glint Hawk, and that's it.
Yeah.
Steven Mann packs it in. So Tyler Schiner wins game 1 with Tempered Steel.
It was kind of weird. He got the turn passed back to him and he's like, "Aren't you dead?"
Yeah.
And it's like
pretty clear just by the motions with his hands that that's exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it always is, because a lot of people just
a
pick
universal
it up,
language.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like some people want to see you do it.
Exactly.
You second guess yourself sometimes.
You do. You're like, well, if he passes the turn, that means he must have a fog.
It's like,
swing with half my creature. Yeah. So, in case you didn't know, we do have a contest.
Yes.
Basically, the way this is going to work, we're going to ask you a trivia question. You have to tweet.
Hashtag SCG Premium.
That's the hashtag you have to use. You have to use that one to be eligible for the contest. Everyone that replies before we give the answer
you have a shot.
Does get entered.
Yep. You need to have the correct answer to our question, though.
And the question is, what Pro Tour champion has been featured multiple times on camera today? What Pro Tour champion?
I can only think of one Pro Tour champion that's been featured multiple times on camera today.
Well, me too, but it doesn't matter if we know the answer. It matters if you know the answer. It's back in one of the early rounds was the first time, so you can go look that up on our Twitter stream. You can go check it out.
Yeah.
Make sure you use the hashtag SCG Premium. You can tweet at SCG Live. You can tweet at me. You can tweet at Jake. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
If you want to.
I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Why not?
Yeah. Let us know, and we will let you know at the end of this match who has won.
We most certainly will. Behind Steven there, you see the Freets player battling against blue-black control.
Yeah, I think
Justin.
I think the blue-black control player is Gronkowski. Is that right? I think that's his name. I think I see that. So post board, let's see what the two players are bringing in. Yeah, two of the sports that go most well together.
It's true.
Yeah. So out of the sideboard, Tyler has Indomitable Archangel, talked about that one. Revoke Existence, Timely, Divine Offering, Shrine of Loyal Legions, Ray of Revelation, Oblivion Ring, Celestial Purge, Hero of Bladehold. Well, we can count some out right away. Celestial Purge won't be coming in. Ray of Revelation won't be coming in. Timely Reinforcements won't be coming in. What do you think he'll bring in here?
I'm thinking Shrine.
Yeah.
It's good here.
I think so too. I don't know about...
It lets him win those races where he just wants to chump stuff.
Right. Chump the Dungrove Elder.
Does it make white guys, actually?
I'm going to look that up.
I think it does, actually. And maybe it's just not good then.
It might make mirrors, actually. Yep, it puts 1/1 colorless.
Okay, I like it. I would play it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd board in all 4, but I would board in some number, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, even chaining them in multiples.
Right, it's not bad.
In game 3, when you're on the play, chaining them in multiples, actually, it's going to be really difficult to lose any sort of race where you have so much as a 2/2 flyer.
Right.
So...
yeah, can chump Sword of War and Peace all day.
All day and all night.
Thrawn all day, Dungrove Elder all day. But we'll see how it plays out for Tyler.
And I mean, if you happen to draw a Tempered Steel to go with it...
oh, of course, yeah.
Oh.
Then it's just over.
Oh,
Tempered Steel, put a counter on Shrine, end of your turn, sack Shrine.
Yeah, here's...
stack for approximately 1 million. Stephen Mann, Sword of Feast and Famine, probably won't see those. Batterskull, we might see that one make an appearance. Thrawn the Last Troll, not really needed here. The Viridian Corruptors, the Acidic Slimes, the Naturalizers.
Those are good.
Right.
And that's a lot of cards.
Yeah, that's 5 cards.
5 Shriekmaws, basically.
Yeah.
3 Shriekmaws and...
2 Doomblades.
2 Doomblades, yeah.
Doesn't kill Glinthawk, but that's about it.
Hey, Glinthawk's a beating, man.
It is.
He's good here.
Acidic Slime, having a second one of those is definitely going to matter a lot. Just because if he draws 2 Green Sun Zeniths, they're both Flame Tongue Cabos.
Andrew Wilson, our blue-black zombie player, wins 2-0.
Yeah, defeated Delver. So Delver, the pretty much the deck we'd seen the least of this entire tournament, out of top 8, unceremoniously by Andrew. Sounds like he ran him right over.
Yeah, I mean, that was fast.
2-0'd him
in one game. Yeah. The game we watched wasn't even that long.
It had some math, but turns, it was probably 7 turns.
Jeez.
Precursor Golem will definitely come in for Steve Mann. Corrosive Gale, I think we'll see that one too. I mean, even if it only kills 1 Vault Scourge or 1 Glinthawk, it's worth it. And if it kills multiple, wow, that's really good. Only 1 of, though, so we probably won't see it in the post-board games. Dismember, I don't think so.
Do you think Tyler brings in any Divine Offerings? He knows he's facing off against Phyrexian Metamorph. He knows his opponent has Sword of War in pieces.
True.
He knows his opponent is probably going to have something like Ratchet Bomb post-board, because they often do, which his opponent doesn't, but his opponent does have Batterskull. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in 2 Divine Offerings.
Yeah, me neither. He already has a lot of cards that will be good in the matchup, like Shrine and Indomitable, but if he can find room, I definitely think we will. I have to imagine we'll see some number of Signal Pests be cut. That card's just traditionally one of the worst cards, although it does go well with the Shrine.
It does go really well with the Shrine. Argent Spellbomb, I've never been a very big fan of.
Yeah, it's almost just the lube that makes the deck work together really well, the engine grease. I don't know how many you can cut.
Really?
Yeah, I like that card a lot. I think you can cut at least 1, but cutting all of them without regard to the curve and how much it sort of helps your draws.
You don't think you can cut like 2 of them if you're on the draw?
On the draw, definitely more on the draw.
Especially, I mean, if you're siding in Shrine of Loyal Legions.
Sort of an Origin Spellbomb replacement. It doesn't draw cards, though. And drawing cards is pretty great.
You want to hear dispatches.
That's true. But we'll see how Tyler chooses to sideboard. We'll see if we see any Origin Spellbombs in the post-board games. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. Maybe in the winter interview we can ask him how he feels about the Origin Spellbomb in general.
Sounds like a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll win.
He's 1 step closer. He's won game 1.
He has won game 1. But after this, he has to win another match. And then another match.
2 matches.
2 more matches if he wants to be the champion.
Well, let's not
There's
count Stephen Mann out
Star
quite
City
yet.
Games. Standard Open in Tampa, Florida. Stephen Mann, powerful wizard. Top 8 here, doing very well.
Yep, he also does well on Moto.
Yeah.
And the handle
He's a very
S-Man, I think.
Very strong Magic Online player. Played against him many times.
Yep, I play against him in Constructed and Limited. Plays both formats. Tyler Schiner, I'm not as familiar with.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with him either.
I've seen his face before at tournaments, but I don't think I've ever seen him in a top 8. Let's find out. Let's see, looks like he played a Burning Vengeance deck at FNM. This is what Google has told me. The old Beast Within, Forbidden Alchemy, Tribute to Hunger, Desperate Ravens deck.
That's actually a deck I wrote about on Star City the week that the Innistrad had come out.
Really?
It was pretty cool. It did well against the decks people were playing that week, but then it kind of got really bad really fast.
Right.
But it was sweet.
Burning Vengeance, the card is awesome. And
Yeah, it's really fun.
I wish it had caught on. I actually tried it in my sideboard of Freets a little bit.
His deck looks actually better than the one I had.
Huh. Wow. He did have, let's see, Feeling of Dread. It's a good one.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler Schiner, pretty new to the scene. I don't see any top 8s here from him. Stephen Mann, 1 top 8 in GP Orlando.
It was a big Grand Prix.
That was the one Conley won, which
Yeah. And Stephen Mann there was piloting Illusions.
Yep, Illusion Delver. Red-green Scape Shift. So it's not only a green mage, it's also a blue mage, it seems. Lord of the Unreal, Phantasmal Bear. This deck looks familiar.
Yeah, we saw this deck play earlier today.
Yeah, we did.
And it actually looks like it was this exact deck list, the one Geist and everything.
It really does.
I actually think it's identical. Even the sideboard looks the same.
That's bizarre. He had Gut Shot. That's the only difference.
Yeah, what did the other person have? Dismember in that spot?
I don't know. So Stephen Mann and Tyler Schiner, as you see there, in the top 8, shuffling up for Game 2. If you're just joining us, I'm Zach Hall, joined by Jake Van Lunen. Here, coming to you live from Star City Open Tampa. We're watching the top 8.
Yeah, in this game, Steven's hoping that he can draw some Green Sun Zeniths or some Acidic Slimes.
Yeah.
If Tyler's able to draw one of those Tempered Steels.
Yeah, Acidic Slime, only a one-of, just like we were talking about, but a one-of that really impacts the game.
Yeah, and
almost every time.
You can search for it with Green Sun Zenith. Definitely helps, and you get an extra copy post-board, too.
Exactly. Or you can search for it with Garruk Relentless.
Yeah.
Has a full 7 creature tutor effects in this deck.
Pretty effective.
Yeah.
But I mean, both of them are kind of, their destiny is, is still in the wind because neither of them really play many draw spells. They're not playing Ponders. They're not playing anything like that. These players are just drawing cards on the top of their deck, hoping to get there.
Well, as we saw, Tyler got there last game. He had the Tempered Steel, and Steven didn't have an Acidic Slime.
Yeah, I mean
that was really all the game came down to. That's really all the Tempered Steel games usually do come down to.
But that's a very compelling reason to fight with a deck. Like,
enchantments? That's such a hard card type to deal with.
And there aren't many people backing Rave Revelation.
Right.
All right, and a Razor Bridge ticket for Tyler. So he's got to turn 1 play, and it's a Vault Scourge. And drop himself to 18 here. Does he have anything else for turn 1?
Doesn't look like it. No Mox Opals peeking out there. It looks like he has the 1 Hero of Bladehold in his hand. I think that's that watermarked card in his hand.
All right, so an attack for 1. Going to put Steven down to 19. Tyler back up to 19. Tie ball game now. Tyler.
Inkmoth Nexus. Taps 1.
Just 1.
Plays
Signal Pest.
a Signal Pest.
Just a pass. Doesn't choose to play Glenhawk Idol there instead of the Signal Pest.
Wow. Must feel that the lifelink is a lot more important than anything else.
Yeah, and I mean, currently Steven doesn't really have something that can block it. His deck's really light on ways they can really interact with these flyers.
Right.
Tyler knows that. Tyler's seen his deck list. Tyler knows post-board what Steven's trying to do. So he's like, okay, if I can just lifelink you out in the air, buy some turns. Like my deck gets the critical mass like really fast. Like it just like goes into overdrive.
Exactly, and there's also something to be said for baiting out something like a Corruptor on the Vault Scourge. I think you would rather have the Glinthawk Idol than the Vault Scourge.
I think you're right. And
So-
I think he successfully did that.
Yeah. So there are a lot of small advantages to playing that Signal Pest, and upon further consideration, I think I like it too. I think it's the right play. So Corruptor it is. Points to the Signal Pest. Do you think that's a tell that he wants him to kill that?
Yes.
I think so too. We'll see if Steven picks up on it. Though that Signal Pest could get pretty dangerous with that Inkmoth Nexus in play and another in Tyler's hand. I don't think it'd be an unreasonable choice.
It can matter really fast.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that there's another Inkmoth in
Right.
Tyler's hand, though. It can become quite a pest.
But
That's a lot of infect coming really fast, though. Signal Pest with double Inkmoth.
yeah, it is. He would be dead in just a couple attack phases.
Yeah, just 3 attack phases. That's it.
So Steven passes the turn.
Does hit the Signal Pest there.
Yep.
Tampa Steel.
Boom. Now it's a 6-point life swing. Brings life totals 22 to 16.
Yeah, big plays.
So again, Tyler's deck has the namesake right when he needs it. We'll see if Steven can play an Acidic Slime here. He would have to have naturally drawn it to cast it now. Green
only
Sun would
2
have to wait
copies in
another
his deck.
turn. Yep.
Garrick also would have to wait another turn before he could cast it. Well, before he could
Right.
use it to search and then cast the Acidic Slime,
I
rather.
see.
So,
Wow, it just says go.
It just says go. That's rough.
Steven Man has often been light on threats today when we've watched him.
Perhaps he has a Naturalize in his hand.
Yep.
We don't know.
Yeah, there we go. Naturalize the Tempered Steel.
That seems significantly more reasonable.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a hand that he could have where he just was able to just say go there.
And Hero of Bladehold. That's
Another card that matters.
a powerful threat against a mono green deck. No Beast Within's hiding in Steven's sideboard. He's not going to be able to remove that except through combat.
Tyler cited an extra Hero of Bladeholds. That's actually really good. He's just like, oh man, he has no spot removal that kills this card.
A mono green deck, eh? I guess that seems good.
Sideboarded in
Oh,
Dismember.
okay. The one card in the 75 that can kill that out of combat. Dismember. He doesn't know, though, that Tyler has another one waiting in the wings.
And Tyler's probably a little bit, perturbed that the
Right.
one-up was in Steven's hand. But that's why Steven has it.
Exactly. So Tyler up to 2 infect, down to 22 life from Steven's attack phase. But that will go up to 25 life, bring Steven down to 12.
Well, the Temper Steel's dead now. So just...
Right.
one.
My math was wrong there. 23, 14.
And now, the game again becomes a game about Hero Bladehold.
Yep.
That's something we've seen a lot today.
Yeah.
People have either been able to kill the Hero Bladeholds,
or they've died to it.
or they have died to it immediately.
Pretty much the only 2 modes of Hero Bladehold.
Hero Bladehold. Have you untapped with a Hero Bladehold recently? I have. Very difficult to lose that one.
Now, it's interesting that Tyler didn't play his Inkmoth Nexus. I wonder why that is.
Oh, he has 3rd one in hand now?
He does.
I mean, he already has 2. If he needs to activate an attack 2 next turn, he's not going to have access to 6 mana.
Yeah, but against a deck with Sword of War and Peace, and also just the possibility of drawing another land and triple Inkmothing, definitely seems better to play the land. But we'll see.
That's reasonable. He could also always just draw an opal off the top.
Right.
That matters a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
David Scharfman wins his match 2-0.
Yep, much as we thought he would. Just a great matchup for him. So he's in the top 4. He'll be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, a Pro Tour champion in the top 4 of this tournament.
Wow. Was that a hint?
Of course not.
Right. Definitely not. So revoke existence in Tyler's hand. Wanted to have an answer to that Sword of War piece. Oh, and another Tempered Steel.
Tempered Steel.
Boom. And Hero of Bladehold and Vault Scourge. Attack. Hero brings 2 tokens along with it. And Steven is going to be hard-pressed to deal with this unless he has a second Naturalize here.
It's going to be really, really rough for Steven at this point.
Yeah, his
With triple Inkmoth.
right. His only line of play would be to block that hero with all of his creatures and have his other Naturalize, I think.
I'm actually very surprised that Tyler didn't send one Inkmoth here, because then he's, he draws a land and Steven's dead to Infect.
Right. I think his thinking is he probably wants to keep it as a blocker in case any sword shenanigans happen. But,
that's reasonable.
But still, having him dead to an attack seems pretty good too.
The other thing is that sword shenanigans don't really interact with Infect very well.
No, they don't. Oh, he can also play this Glint Hawk Idol post-combat. Oh, wow,
Yeah.
Steven just had 2 lands, and that's the hand.
And that's it.
So congratulations, Tyler Schiner. Taking out probably the second most accomplished player in this top 8, Steven Mann, and moves on to the semifinals. He'll be playing tomorrow, too. He'll actually be playing against David Scharfman. We have one side of our bracket.
And that should be pretty interesting. I think the blue-black control deck's got to be